Hi and welcome to Rockin' the Planet. I'm Shane. I'm so glad you could join me to help celebrate what's great about New Zealand music. This week from our RTP studios, we get to meet up with two musical styles that are both eons apart but still instantly recognisable as great Kiwi music. First up, we'll see what ticks with Auckland-based singer-songwriter Wendy Morris before we meet Chris and Fraser from Chicane to discuss their upcoming New Zealand tour. But before we meet my VIPs, let's see who's been rocking the planet this week. I couldn't help but feel an urge to celebrate when I heard John Lennon's murderer, 61-year-old Mark David Chapman, was refused his 9th and latest parole application to be free. One big factor in that outcome was a letter to the 3-person parole panel from John Lennon's widow, Yoko Ono, saying that she was still feared for her and her family's safety if he was released. Just throw away the key. And talking of the Beatles' first ever contract that they signed was just auctioned off for $75,000. The 6-page document was a recording contract with Polydor Records to play the backing on rocker Tony Sheridan's recording of My Bonnie, a popular track he performed live with the Beatles, who toured with him as his backing group, then known as the Beat Brothers, with Pete Best on drums, just before he got the boot and in came Ringo. John, Paul, George and Pete. It doesn't sound quite the same, does it? No, it doesn't. Anyway, it's time for my first VIP guest this evening, and I am so happy to have her here. Beautiful lady, Wendy Morris. How are you, Wendy?
I'm well, thank you, Shane.
Welcome. Oh, we've got so much to talk about because I've just heard a wonderful record of yours, Entangled, the CD, and I met you at a show we were doing at the One-to-One Cafe in Ponsonby. I was doing an acoustic gig with Larry Killip and Graham Gibson, and wonderful night it turned out to be, but you were there and it was a poetry night actually.
It was, yes.
And you are a fan of lyrics and poetry and everything else, so tell me, how did it all get started? Because you handed me the CD and I couldn't believe you had these wonderful musicians working with you.
Right, you had a little lyric writing competition there as part of your show, didn't you? And I
did,
printed up with some lyrics for one of your songs.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a great night. Anita Arlov runs that. It's a monthly event which I like to get along to when I can.
Anita, we're giving you a
Anita
plug
Arlov,
here, the
yep,
One-to-One
yep.
Cafe, every month. I'm not sure what week it is or which week, but
I'm sure you can find it online. It's called Inside Out.
Inside Out,
One-to-One
open
Cafe.
mic, and if you write poetry, go along there and they give you a free stage, open mic, get up there and read your poets. And there was some really entertaining stuff going on there.
There was indeed.
And we were very fortunate. It was their 4th birthday and we were performing music for them. And,
Yeah, you did a beautiful little acoustic set.
Acoustic set, and it was great. And then we got to meet and we chatted, and you told me that you were recording all these wonderful songs. And I took the CD home, and I sat there and I couldn't believe I was listening to it. And I hadn't heard this. Wendy Morris, where have you been?
I'm good at hiding.
But you've got a wonderful band working with you at the moment live.
Yeah, we've got the Wendy Morris Band, which was originally a working title, but it sort of stuck.
Yeah.
And yeah, really nice musicians, and they've become very good friends as well, as your band members tend to. I'm sure yours are the same.
Do. They're best mates.
They are, yeah, they're like family, aren't they?
Yeah, they've become family. But when did all this begin? I mean, how long have you been in the music business?
Oh, I won't say how many years, but back since I was 10, I started my first little band.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
writing songs as well?
Yeah, writing songs with my first guitar, and taught myself to play the guitar. And I was learning classical music as well. I played the cello in youth orchestras.
That's interesting.
But,
I love the cello. That's my favourite instrument.
Is it really?
Yeah, I love
It's
the
a
cello.
lovely mellow instrument, the cello.
Oh, fantastic. Beautiful sound. Boom, boom.
Yeah.
Anyway, so did you play in orchestras or anything?
Yeah, I
like that?
played in a youth orchestra and school orchestras.
Yeah.
But I think the love of folk music and pop music and rock music sort of came to the forefront.
Yeah, rock and roll took over.
Yeah, I was always dressing up in funny clothes and putting paint on my face and trying to get up in front of school assemblies.
So what era is this? Is it during the 60s, 70s?
Yeah,
80s?
yeah.
When did
I was in the
when did
60s.
you start getting into the music thing? In the 60s?
Early 70s.
Early 70s?
Yeah.
And being in Ponsonby, or you live in Greyland, is that right?
I do, yeah.
What do you call it? The poor people's part
Poor
of
people's part of Ponsonby.
I'm sorry, she said it. Well, I don't believe that. I reckon Greyland's quite upmarket, really.
Yeah,
I mean,
we've got
it's going well. It's going
got a
well.
few halfway houses and a lot of beggars, but yeah, the shops are expensive.
Yeah, they are. Anyway, so have you been a grey liner for a long, long time?
No, I was originally an offshore girl, then spent most of my married life in West Auckland, raising my kids there.
Oh, I see.
So I'm still a bit of a Westie at heart.
Yeah, same here. Now, Grey Lynn, though, is a really creative spirit around Ponsonby Road.
Oh, it's awesome, yeah.
I mean, for someone like yourself, poetry, music, and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, you
There's
can...
so much going on, all the cafes, and there's so many writers, artists, and people of that.
There are,
ilk.
yeah. Yeah, and you can walk to everything, which is really good. I mean, if you want a night out on the town, you can sail on home by foot, which is a big advantage.
Hard for me. Now, this album, Entangled, which I love so much, the songs on it and everything. Now, you've got some wonderful musicians on there, including the late, great Graham Brazier.
That's right.
Now, Graham came to the party. I mean, were you friends with him, or did you just...
Yeah, we became very good friends. We met in this sort of circles where people like poetry and music and heavy drinking.
That's Graham.
And
yes.
Yeah, we sort of became very close friends, and he was a man who really loved his friends. And,
He did,
yeah, and he was very entertaining. So it's actually coming up a year now since he passed away. So
Which is incredible. It's
gone
so
really fast.
Yes.
Yeah.
But as an artist, I mean, he was great to work with. You
he was,
bounced off each other. With
the most
music.
interesting thing for me was being in the recording studio with him, because I'd seen him at his concerts, like at the Power Station and places like that, and seen him in his living room show me his new songs, just having a guitar.
Yeah.
But then when I went to the studio with him, because he had offered to help on some of my tracks, seeing him in the studio is when he really came into his own.
Yeah.
He had the most amazing voice, and seeing there with the headphones on and singing some of the backing vocals to my tracks was a really awesome thing.
Yeah, and he also played guitar as well?
Yeah, he did a bit of guitar and harmonica.
And harmonica,
Yeah.
which he was quite renowned for, yeah.
Yeah.
So it must have been a very interesting, I mean, amazing that he, how did he just offered to come along?
He
and
offered,
stuff?
he used to show me some of his new songs as he was writing them, and then he'd hand me the guitar and say, well, play me one of your new ones. And he took an interest as I was developing the album, and he was listening to it in its raw state, and he said, oh, I can give a bit of help with that, and he offered to come up to the studio, which was up in Norrie where we were working.
Manuka
Studios.
Great studio too. I've recorded there, great studio.
Oh, you've recorded there?
Yeah, I've done some stuff there.
Mike's a wonderful engineer, isn't he?
Great place.
Yeah.
Great studio, I mean, amazing place.
Well, he was very tolerant of Graham's strange ways, because, of course, Graham arrived with his crate of vodka mixers and a couple of mates, and I think Mike's usually pretty straight-laced, but, he made an exception for Graham.
Yeah, good old Graham. Now, what does music really, do for you? I mean, is it the vibe you feel? Is it within you? Is it something you're dying to put out there?
Oh, I'd say it's something I have to do. It's not really a choice thing. I mean, I probably wouldn't make the choice from a financial point of view to be a musician,
No.
especially not in New Zealand, but it's just something I'm driven to do. And I just love the friendships I get from it, and getting out there amongst people.
The camaraderie,
Yeah,
bands. And
not
things.
just as a performer, but as audience as well.
And it's the creative juices that drive the whole force, I guess. I mean, when you get together with a band, you play them a song, and then you see how it evolves.
Exactly.
That sort of thing.
Yeah, in fact, I enjoy the recording and the practicing just as much as I enjoy the performing, really.
Yeah. The social side of the whole
Yeah.
thing. As it is a social thing, a gathering when a band gets together anyway.
Very much so.
The music happens to be incidental. It's all combined.
It's like that sometimes, yeah. But at the same token, I enjoy holding up in a bedroom on my own and just playing the guitar and just trying to write a song, and that's really a great way to relax, because it pushes everything else out of your mind. When you're trying to write a song, you can't think about anything else.
Is it something you do every day consciously? You get up and you say, I'm going to write a song today?
Not every day, I wish I did, but when I do, I find I can switch on the creative juices quite quickly, because having been doing it for quite a few years, I'm able to sort of think, right, I've got a few minutes here, I'm just going to sit down and try and work on a song, or try and start a new song, and I can get it happening pretty fast, fortunately.
Great. Now, life, your family life, if you've got children, you've got grown-up kids now?
Yeah, 3 grown-up children, and 4 grandchildren, and another one on the way as well, which is probably a bit of an announcement to
No,
some
that's
people.
Great. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
I've got grandkids all over the place. It's
Oh,
wonderful
good on you.
to have. But what I meant was, I'm trying to get at the fact is, are they all playing music too? Have they followed?
No,
their
thank
mum's
goodness
footsteps?
for them. No, they're doing more sane sort
You
of
said no, get a
occupations.
proper job.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't going to encourage them to follow my footsteps. But they're all successful in their own right.
But
so
you're a very
proud of them.
happy woman, and with what you do, and you love your music.
I do.
And there's no chance of you slowing down on that, I'm
Never,
sure.
no. In fact, we've already got a retirement village planned with all our friends. We're going to become the Old Folks Behaving Badly Club.
Oh, you must be next door to us.
Oh,
we're planning that
we've
already.
got that.
Gerard Smith and myself.
The grand piano in the corner. And, yeah.
The old Joanna. Yeah, okay, sing along. All right, anyway, look, we're going to look at one of your beautiful songs now. It's a beautiful song. It's called No One's Gonna See Me Cry, the lovely Wendy Morris.
Looking for distraction in anything I can. Things that burn, wheels that turn, need to get over that man. Anything to drink so I don't think, any kind of high so I get by. So I drive, listen to music, and I try hard not to lose it, 'cause I don't want those red eyes. No one's gonna see me cry, no one's gonna see me cry. Gonna hide from everyone.
No One's Gonna See Me Cry. I got it right. There you go. Beautiful song by Wendy Morris. I love the video too. Who actually helped produce that video?
Oh, a filmmaker called Darcy Gladwin, who's now in England and very good filmmaker.
Doing well?
Yes.
Good on him, because it was a lovely video, and I love the car. Now, what's that car? It's a classic, isn't it?
It was an old Ford Capri.
Ford Capri.
Very difficult to drive.
I bet.
No power steering.
It has one of those. Does it have the gear change on?
It does, yeah. And
Oh,
yeah, quite a big of a thing to drive, but
I learnt on that sort of car. That's when I learnt
Really?
to drive. When I had to go down to here, oh no, I got used to that sort of thing. Anyway, we're digressing again. Anyway, now the CD it's available. Whereabouts?
you can get it online. Yeah, you can get it on Reverb Nation and iTunes, all the usual channels.
You hear that? iTunes. And you can also get hold of Wendy if you go onto her website. I think you've got a website called
.tv.
wendymorris.tv.
Yeah, and I'm on Facebook as well, of course.
And Facebook, of course.
Yeah, we're under the Wendy Morris Band on Facebook.
Get hold of the CD. Any gigs coming up with the Wendy Morris Band? Because go along and see this lady.
Well, I hope to play at an event that I run in the Horticultural Hall in Auckland, and that'll be on the 24th of September.
24th of September.
It's called the Village Gathering.
Village Gathering. And where's the Horticultural Hall in
It's in Western Springs.
Western Springs?
Yeah, just opposite Motions Road, yeah.
Yes.
So we have a potluck dinner and then we showcase a few local musicians, and I'll pop myself in there on the...
Sounds like a great idea.
Yeah.
Is that a regular sort of gig that you do?
About 4 times a year.
4 times a year, so
Yeah.
it's seasonal. So this
It
is
is,
the
yeah.
spring
That's
get
right.
together.
Yeah,
All right?
that's right.
The spring solstice, I'm going to say summer solstice.
It's pretty
but
close
that's
to the solstice when we have it on the 24th, yeah, and then we'll have one before Christmas as well.
So get along there to the Horticultural Hall the 24th of September in Auckland, and Wendy Morris will be there, and lots of other guest artists playing along, bringing in the solstice and getting on with it, and summer's on the way, I can see it. It's lovely to have you here, Wendy. Thanks for coming in and joining us.
It's been my pleasure.
And sharing your beautiful music with us.
Thank you very much.
Thoroughly enjoyed catching up with you again.
Likewise.
Keep looking good.
Oh, you too.
Looking fabulous. Welcome back to Rockin' the Planet. It's time to jazz it up. At the Auckland Jazz and Blues Club every Tuesday evening from 7 p.m. at the Point Chev RSA. Couldn't get better on a Tuesday, September the 13th, performing live their brand of 1920s inspired jazz, Club Manouche, featuring the awesome vocals of Kitty Martini. I just love that name, Kitty Martini. The band will play some Django-inspired numbers. Yes, it sounds like my kind of music. Members, just $5 at the door, and non-members, $15. Pays to sign up and become a member of the Auckland Jazz and Blues Club. Yes, it certainly is time to jazz it up. And now we're going to jazz it up with some powerful riffs and some good old rock and roll. These guys know how to play that. They're called Chicane and they're about to tour New Zealand. And I've got here tonight Fraser and Chris. You can both shake
Thank
my
you,
hand.
Shane. Thanks for having us, mate.
That's all right, I'm ridiculous, mate. It's all right.
Good to have you here, guys. Now, look,
great
I know
to be
there's a whole band of you, but we've got you two here tonight, and you can tell you're just about to go on tour with your brand new CD called "Set Us Free" tour. Is that right?
Yep.
Now, tell me about that. You're going right through the country, or just the North Island, isn't it?
Just the North Island this
Okay,
time.
North Island. Whereabouts are you going? You're starting in Levin.
Yeah, actually,
right.
we're doing a lot of the smaller areas in New Zealand. We're missing out the cities on purpose.
Why is that? You just felt you want to do a bit of an urban, or not urban, but country.
Yeah, well, I think those sort of places get starved of good bands coming through, you know.
True.
When I grew up in a small town and we had quite a big scene there and we used to have Super Groove coming through and a lot of sort of big bands, but that sort of died off, you know, and it would be great to just...
Yeah, because, I mean, I don't know a lot about, playing in the country as such. Like Levin, you're playing Levin now. There's an alternative gig there for bands like yourself that's really rocking, apparently gets good crowds. It fascinated me, the name was Alternative...
Music Bureau, Alternative Music Bureau, I think it's called.
It's a great name, isn't
Music
it?
Bureau. Yeah, it was a
And I
great.
think it's just a warehouse where they bands come through and play, you know, each weekend.
And they pack them in and
it's
and
quite a
rock
good
their
scene.
songs.
You know, that's what a scene's all about, you know.
Yeah.
Especially in a small town, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
So you must be really looking forward to it. You've hibernated during the winter, this whole winter we've just got through, writing new material, was that right?
That's right, recording over the winter. So we're recording a new EP. So we're up to 4 songs now, 4 tracks. It's probably going to be a 6-track EP.
Yeah.
And here's just a good chance to get out there and play live in the region. So really looking forward to it.
There's 5 members in the band. The other guys in the band, can you tell us about them?
Yeah, they're not bad blokes.
Okay, they're not a bunch of bad blokes. They're not here tonight.
That's right.
They weren't allowed here.
So 4 members in the band. We've got Regan Aspen on lead guitar, plays all the guitars.
Yes.
Very creative guitarist and fantastic guy. We've got Pete Westbury, who's just joined us, very experienced drummer, and he's come to join Chicane and added a lot of weight to the rhythm section.
Oh, what I heard, it's lovely. And what would you term your music as? I mean, is it... It's not rock and roll, that's for sure. High-powered, high-energy rock and roll.
It's probably a progressive rock.
Progressive rock, yeah.
I mean, it has the good straight-out rock elements, but sometimes it can go off tangent a little bit and just take you somewhere else, you know, which is the progressive part of it.
Inspirationally, I mean, what would be your inspirations for the band, I mean, how do you see it? I don't want to tie you into certain type of music, but who do inspire you? Other bands?
That's a good question. I was thinking the other day, I was coming up with a new song track, and it might sound a little bit somber, but the kind of theme was all my heroes are dead. And what I mean by that is like I grew up listening to the grunge era, so I was listening to guys like Lane Stanley, who's passed. You know, we've got Cobain. That's right. The singer Scott Whalen from the Stone Temple Pilots, and all these guys that were just legendary singers that I grew up listening to, and have been just a great inspiration for me. And I try to encompass that with my singing, and the band's kind of got their own music going on, and we join the two together.
I mean, we're going way back to Paul McCartney. I mean, when he wrote "Let It Be," they said, "Well, what inspired you to write, that song?" And he said, I wanted to do something like Ray Charles. He liked Ray Charles, and he always wanted to do something. To me, it doesn't even sound anything vaguely like Ray Charles.
Well, at that time, that's what
inspired him.
So it could be anything,
Yeah, something triggers it off.
To me, I mean, I don't ever aspire to be like any other band. I just aspire to be in a band that writes great songs,
Yeah.
And live are on fire. And
now the age in the band is quite a broad spectrum. You've got from I don't know.
It's fair to say.
Why? Well, you've got a grey beard there. It's a lot of money dyeing a beard silver.
That's right.
So, but it's quite range. Quite a wide range of the band.
I started off as the band as producer. I didn't discover the band, but a friend gave me their demo and said, "Listen to these guys," and I loved the song. And so I produced their first album, so I wasn't actually playing in the band. And
you became as part of the band.
Yeah, exactly. The fifth
so who's producing you now? Are you still producing?
Still Chris.
Yeah.
That's wonderful having your own producer in the group that you can all trust.
Yeah.
Because you know, most bands, you're all busy connecting and you need someone outside to come in and look over it.
Oh, you do.
To see it from a different spectrum, you know.
A lot of bands don't realise that, you know, you always need a producer. I
You
mean,
do, definitely.
You have to have someone outside.
I don't know how people self-produce.
No.
It's even doesn't matter how clever you are. It's good to have another set of ears going. Nah, I reckon if you did that, and you go, oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
you know?
So I still view the band as a part. I mean, I'm not in it, you know.
I just play the bass, but I have the overall control on the sound. Is that what I say? Sort of
And they used to pay me, now they don't.
That's why I'm in
now
the
they
band.
pay him by the note. Pay him by the note.
Yeah.
So have you always played bass yourself?
No, I originally played guitar, so I've only sort of been playing bass for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
I love it. I love playing the bass.
Now you're a lead vocalist with this band.
That's right.
Are you playing guitar as well?
On some tracks on Turn the Stone, but now I've dropped the guitar. They say I'm not good enough, so I'm just concentrating on the vocals, but actually really enjoying putting the guitar away and actually being the freedom of performing, as you well know, Shane.
Yeah, well it is. It's the performing. There's a performance out there in front of that type, your style of band.
Yeah.
You can really get
Well,
out
I think
there
it's a lot more
and rock.
engaging if you've got a frontman just doing that than standing behind a guitar.
You can
know.
play the odd song on the guitar
Yeah,
and stuff,
exactly.
you know,
Bring out
and
the
then
acoustic
come back
and throw something
Exactly.
down.
But the performance is great. You just get on with connecting with the audience, do that job, and you can concentrate so much better on your vocals.
That's
Oh,
right.
yeah,
It's been great.
I mean, that's what I
It's
always
very hard
found.
to do the two, you know. You've got to
Yeah.
be 50-50
Yeah.
to make 100 instead of 100.
He's a producer. Now, the other guys in the band, drummer, etc., they've all been playing drums for a long time in Hamilton. They're all Hamiltonians.
Yeah.
Pete's been in a band called Sticky Filth from Hamilton. They're quite a seminal sort of punk rock band.
There's
in
a great
the
scene in
80s.
Hamilton.
Mm-hmm.
I think this was in New Plymouth, right?
For
That-
power
that's
music,
right.
you know, for your
Oh,
type
but
of rock
Hamilton
and roll.
has
You
got
know,
that
we had
bogan
Nightshade
mentality,
here.
you know.
We had Nightshade.
Yeah.
not long
Nightshade,
ago.
Blackjack,
I mean, I grew up listening
Recently,
to Nightshade. They were my
Doorskin.
heroes, you know.
And they, I've just seen such a, it's blossomed, you know. There's so many bands down there, like you say, Sticky Filth, and there's all these names coming out, and they're definitely that type of genre.
Blackjack was his other band, and they were a great sort of melodic band, sort of just after Nightshade, very similar to Nightshade.
That's right.
So the tour now that you're going on, the tour of the North Island, it's quite a few dates on it.
7 dates. That's right.
Yeah.
7 dates.
Spread across.
And you're going right up to Whangarei.
Yep.
So everyone wants to watch out for you. I mean, these guys are going to slay them, I know. And will you? Are you considering gigs after that? Will you come to the big city, if you know what I mean, Auckland and Wellington and so on?
Yeah, I think next year we definitely will be start of the year. Over the
You're
summer.
you're choosing your gigs very carefully.
Oh, I guess you'd say we are. You know, playing the smaller towns first, just to get out there to rural New Zealand, which we're really looking forward to. Finish the EP. There's still a couple of songs just to finish on there, and then probably hit the larger centres early 2017.
Because I have to say, I think it was your first single. What was your first single called? It was a while back now. It's about 3 years.
Time Bomb.
That's right.
Time Bomb. But there's a beautiful acoustic song that you put out. Lots of acoustic guitars.
Soldier, is it?
Soldier, was
Could
it?
have been Soldier or a track called Divided.
Divided it might be, but it was, and I thought, wow, that's amazing. It still had the heavy sound, if you like, but the acoustic guitars were just magnificent.
Well, I think there's acoustic.
Were you playing like
That's
that?
me on the acoustic.
Yeah.
Thank you. Give it back.
You guys are holding this guy back, man.
Acoustic all over that album, you know, the Turn to Stone album, and it just gives another element to the band, you know, another dimension to it, and it's great.
It sounded
even a little bit country.
Now we've got a great song of yours from your repertoire, and it's called Undeniable. And this is from the album Turn to Stone.
That's right.
And I love it. It's live, it's out there, and I know you guys are going to get ready, turn your TVs up, start rocking, and listen to this. This is Chicane. Walk.
Tragic
Undeniable, Chicane, fantastic. Now if you want to play music like these guys, you go along to the Music Education Centre. It offers lessons for people of all ages, child or adult, it doesn't matter. The Music Education Centre have centres right across Auckland, and they are more than happy to help you choose whatever instrument suits you. Give them a call right away on 0800 893939 and start making your own music. The Music Education Centre. Wow, what a great place to go and learn an instrument. Now, let's get back to my VIP guests. Undeniably good, I say that about Chicane. What a band, I tell you. Get out there. I'm away, mate. I got the wrong gear on. I should have bought my leather jacket tonight. And tell me about that video, because there was something I noticed in there. There's a bit of a gorgeous blonde strolling through there. Who was that lady? How did she get mixed up in that video?
How did she get mixed up there?
She's actually a friend of mine. She used to be a girlfriend to a band that we used to tour with. So, but she does a lot of promo sort of work for, you know, cars and car events and stuff. So
Oh, I see.
I asked her to come and do this video, and she said, "Yeah, I love it."
Yeah, and there's a lot of smoke and
Yeah.
wheelies and
Yeah,
things
It was
going
quite
on.
cold that night, but she was out there in a bloody bikini.
Oh, she did a great job. I had my brother there, and Joe Coombes is his name, and a good guy,
Yeah.
Dion, from a little club we've got in Hamilton called the MGA, the Martingi
Yes.
Gentlemen's Association. So they turned up with their cars, and we're more than willing to help out, I must say.
Yeah. And they'll be coming along to your gigs, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, they
they'll
will,
be there,
yeah.
They'll be going along with you in convoy. Are you travelling by road?
Yep.
Because you've got a long haul.
Yeah,
I
we
saw on
do.
a
It's
couple
lot
of
driving,
a couple of the trips from. You got New Plymouth, and you're going across to Napier.
That's correct.
That's a biggie.
Yeah, it is.
That's a biggie.
Yeah.
I wanted a chopper, but the
Especially when
budget
you had a
wasn't
wild
quite
night,
there.
but you young studs
yeah,
can
Shane
handle
guys
it.
can handle it,
I
you know.
couldn't hack it.
We'll let you know how it goes afterwards.
Exactly, it's the after party,
Yeah.
and it's I'm tired. And you get to
sort
the
of,
other
you
gig.
do get like that, but then you kick it in the next day.
Yeah, I know, it
and
all
the-
comes together.
It all comes, the adrenaline comes
It'll
back.
be all right on the night.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right,
just
let's
in
go
time.
again, you know.
A few more vocal zones, and I'll be all right.
Yeah, that's right. Look after that voice, my
That's
mate.
right.
Because it was full on for you guys.
Oh, yeah.
And
it is,
it's going to be a great,
it's
great
hard to get
tour.
there, you know.
So when you pass through Auckland, come in and say hello and see us, won't you? At Rockin' the
Definitely, yeah,
Planet.
we will.
Because I love you guys. And say hello to all the other guys down in Hamilton. We want them to come up and see us because it's one hell of a healthy scene
Yeah, it's a good thing.
down in the Waikato.
Yes,
and,
yep.
it's really happening at the moment. In all idioms too, not just the power rock sort of thing. It's folk singing.
There's a lot of singer-songwriters around there.
Yeah.
I've worked with who are great too, you know.
Yeah, some great artists down there. All right, guys. Well, I wish you all the very best with the tour. Well, thanks again for joining me here on Rockin' the Planet. I want to thank once again my guests Chicane and of course the lovely Wendy Morris, and you for joining me here tonight. Don't forget, same time, same place next week. Until then, keep on rockin'.